about, and why I volunteered to do this was, you know, I love a good Halloween costume, either for our humans or for our babies. I'm sure you'll get to know my fur baby Ace tonight. We might hear from her, actually. So this was actually a costume, one of the costumes that I won volunteer best costume for, like Jill said. And I'm just wearing an apron that says I love barbecue with a chef hat. And then my husband, he really won it for us, to be honest. He wore a hot dog costume, and then I made a little one for my dog Ace too. So that's just the start of all of our ideas tonight. Perfect. So about tonight, mainly you'll get photo ideas and some step-by-step instructions on a couple of costumes. I kind of chose going over more costumes versus, you know, really in detail. So I might say, you know, cut this out or paste this, and, you know, hopefully read between the lines kind of deal instead of going over everything. And we're also going to have some kind of quizzes during it, which is going to be a lot of fun. And there are also going to be costume ideas too. And, you know, we want to hear about your ideas as well. I'm not an expert in the least. Like you know, this is part of my everyday kind of routine. So I just want us to have a lot of fun and a couple of good laughs and look at some costumes that are almost all from Pinterest. If you are a Pinterest fan like me, then you'll be able to find any of the costumes tonight there. So I'll probably turn off my video now.
Jill?
Hey, Jessica, can I ask you just to stop for one moment? Ladies and gentlemen, we're just picking up the background. So if I can ask you to mute your microphone, please, I would appreciate that. If you have questions, just feel free to unmute your microphone. So we're just getting some background right now. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, so, you know, it wouldn't be a COVID Halloween of, you know, in the year 2020 without some Halloween masks. So the ones pictured on the left are actually ones that you are available to purchase. It might be a little bit late than that for that, but, you know, in case you have, you know, Amazon Prime, you might be able to find some. I also found a couple here that someone designed, which are functional and also adorable. I also apologize in advance for my use of the word cute, adorable, probably and like, because it's going to happen. So bear with me. And so depending on who it's for, it might already match your costume, like the beard seen here. I mean, basically, it was just a beard, and then they attached it to a gray mask of similar color. With some pipe cleaners, they made a mask for kind of like the face of a cat, and then with some butterfly clips. And then they also kind of have like a monster mouth at the top there, which I thought was a lot of fun, and I actually tried to recreate. I was thinking of maybe using like a feather boa for the fur, but it didn't quite look right. So instead, and if you want to flip the slide, should work. There we go. I made the one on the left. So everything was from the dollar store or Michael's, and I just used pieces of felt to mimic what the mask would look like, because I didn't think of, you know, didn't really want to waste the whole mask just on a Halloween decor theme. But the fur seen there is actually from the dollar store in the ribbon section. And I thought that was kind of like, I don't know, like a cat, like maybe this is like a creepy cat or something like that. And then the tongue and the teeth are all felt pieces. And I just attached them all using a glue gun. And of course, you could do this on your own mask. Obviously, you would have the straps on the side there. So I thought that would be a good idea. Great for kids, too, especially since, you know, depending on the age, they have to wear, well, in Nova Scotia, they have to wear masks in school. So I thought that was a great way to kind of, you know, play it up, have fun, stuff like that. And then I thought when we transition into, you know, nighttime and they're trick-or-treating, why not have some fun with some glow-in-the-dark paint? So pictured on top, again, we kind of have that cat face, boo, and then a pumpkin, and then once you exposed it to UV light after a couple of minutes, you got that kind of function of being glow in the dark. So I thought that would be really exciting for a mask if you were to wear one for trick-or-treating or something like that. So we're good on that one. Okay. And now we'll get into kind of like the main costumes. I have different categories, and this one is kind of based on one article of clothing, for example. So the first one is Beanie Babies. I mean, I think it's just so nostalgic, and one of the many reasons why I love this costume is it's functional, it will keep you warm, and it's great for the office, very appropriate, you know, wear it for if you're going to school or you know, like I said, to the office during the day, nighttime, transitions well. And it's also very easy. So of course you'll already have to have the onesie, or maybe you'd be able to thrift it or get it on a sale. And all you really have to do is make the little like TY tag. So you could just make that out of felt or multicolored paper. The felt would definitely hold up better in different weather, I think. Like if it got a little bit damp, the paper would probably like fall apart, or it would crinkle or something like that. And really all you have to do is cut out the T and the Y and put it on your red background. The ones here are kind of professional looking, and they even have like a gold, you know, border and that little star. I think you just need the TY, and people are going to get the gist of it, you know what I mean? On the baby there, they attach it to the ear of the costume, which I thought would be great, especially if your child is at the age of trying to grab things and is a choking hazard, so kind of getting that away from them is a great idea. And then on the adult costume, above, they just attach it to the ribbon and then around the neck. So again, felt that would be a good idea. Even if you didn't have red, it could be anything, right? Or you could even like sew it to the costume or staple it or something like that. Again, we're trying to make things as easy as possible here. So yeah, that's our first idea. And this is our first quiz. So you guys can unmute or put it in the chat what you think this is.
I know.
Go ahead if you know, either the chat or speak up.
Margaret Hache says pumpkin pie.
Yes, that's it. I actually skipped over our first one. I totally forgot because it was a picture of me.
I was wondering about that. I missed that.
I totally just went right off course there. That's okay. All right, so our second one is a SUNDAE. This one, again, you just need a couple of items, and then the main piece that you would need is probably a white shirt. So starting with the white shirt, she has kind of like a scalloped edge on the bottom. Not necessary, but if you did have something like that, I think it does kind of look like an ice cream scoop. And then to make the cherry on top, you would need a red balloon. Obviously blow it up and then tie it, and then kind of attach like either a red pipe cleaner or a really thin piece of cardstock to the balloon, and then you'd have to attach it to your head. So the way that this blogger did it was the kind of little nub from the balloon. She just tucked it right under a headband, which I thought was a great idea. And she said that it kind of, stood there all night, didn't have any issues with it. I was also thinking if you don't like wearing headbands, I personally don't enjoy them that much, you could just bobby pin it to the top of your head. I think that would be a good solution there. And then what's a SUNDAE if you don't have any sprinkles, right? So if you had your cardstock or multicolored pieces of felt, you could cut them out into little rectangles and then attach them to the shirt. So the way that you would attach this to the shirt kind of depends on what condition you need the shirt in after. So she recommended, if you don't want too much damage to the shirt, to kind of sew it on just with maybe like 1 or 2 stitches on each end of the rectangle. If you didn't really care what happened to the shirt, you could glue it on or use a spray adhesive in some way. If you guys think of anything else, let me know. I haven't done this yet. I thought the idea of stitching it would be good to try to keep the condition of the shirt, but I'm sure there's other ways. And then the bottom. So she used a skirt, obviously, but you don't have to. And you know what? It probably doesn't even have to be kind of that tan color. I think it would be best to mimic the cone, but definitely not needed. I saw other pictures of people just wearing blue jeans, and again, you got the idea, you know what I mean? And then to transition this to someone of a different age, if we go to the next slide, we have this one. Again, I'm going to say it, super adorable, right? I don't own any of these photos. They were all off Pinterest, so I put little pumpkins on the faces, just in case. But I think it, you know, gave it a little extra something. And in this way, the ice cream instead of the shirt is kind of the tutu. You still have your sprinkles on there. And the red cherry was actually kind of like almost like a red sponge that you would clean dishes with. They use that, and then they attach it to a headband, and then I'm not sure what they use for the stem, but then again, I'm sure it's like really easy to use a pipe cleaner or something like that. So yeah, so that is our Sunday idea. All right, we have another quiz.
Margaret Hache is saying Greek yogurt.
Yes, that's it. She's on a roll. That is it for sure. I hope you guys kind of like the format of going from an idea to a quiz. And I mean, the quiz are also ideas as well, if you like one of those. I mean, who doesn't like a good pun costume, right? Like sometimes just, you know, going as something is, you know, just give it a little something extra and go for people having to guess what you are during the night. And then it, you know, it makes it a little bit more fun. So yeah, I can go to the next one. This one's a strawberry. I thought that this one would be really easy to make if you already had something like a red dress or a red top and bottom. So again, that's kind of your basic, your clothing that you would need for the costume, the one piece. And then again, we have kind of like an adult costume and then a child costume, and they're just wearing a little red onesie, which you'd be able to pick up anywhere. Again, this is like easy, basic stuff that you'd be able to already own or thrift. So that's kind of the main idea that we're going for there. And you would need some green felt to make the stem, and either white felt like you see with the dress, or black that you see on the little strawberry there, the little berry, and then to put it all together, just probably a glue gun. So again, to attach the teardrops that you would cut out with the felt, you could use a hot glue gun, adhesive spray, stitch it on. I think with the actual onesie, what they did was they actually drew them on, which could probably go a little bit better with a smaller amount of clothing, right? Like you don't really have to draw a ton on there with just like a little baby, but having to draw on the like adult size would probably be a little bit harder. And then you just have to attach your stem. So if you cut out leaf shapes of green felt, kind of overlap them, and then just glue them in a mass together. And then if you cut out one small rectangle I kind of did probably like 2 inches times 3 inches and rolled it up, and then I hot glued it together. You will get something like this if you go to the next slide. I hope you guys are laughing with me. I can't hear you. So I did it to try it because, you know, I didn't want to just sit here and tell you guys that you can do it. You know, I want to show you that you can. So I did trim the stem because it was rather long. It looked absolutely ridiculous. Not that I don't look ridiculous here, but it's okay. It's a Halloween. I'm in my red shirt, and to attach the stem and the leaves to my head, I actually used a bobby pin. So you could, again, go the route of ribbon or headband, but the bobby pin, honestly, was super easy. So would recommend that. So yeah, that's a strategy idea. All right, our next quiz.
Oh, you stumped them this time.
Ooh.
Margaret Hache is saying web browser.
Jessica,
Nope, that's not it, but you're along the right, the technology route is correct.
Natalie Prudhomme is saying social media person.
You are very close.
Behind them.
Yeah. Social butterfly, that's it. You got it. I think that was like a team effort, honestly. I think you guys worked on that one together. I like it. So yeah, that's a social butterfly. I thought this would be great and really easy. Black clothing. The wings, honestly, you can just get from the dollar store. I saw a bunch of pairs there when I was there recently. And they just cut out pieces. I mean, you could probably just copy and paste this into your on your browser and then just print off the actual symbols. But I think that they actually created these ones. They look a little bit more homemade. Again, depending on how much effort you want to do with that. But yeah, social butterfly. There we go. All right, so our next idea is a cactus. And I think, you know, cacti and succulents are very in right now. So I thought this would be like an on-trend costume, on point, if you would. Haha, get it? Because of the cactus? On point? Yeah? Okay. I don't hear anyone laughing, so I hope you're laughing with me. I can picture my mom laughing. If she's still with us, I can picture her laughing. So
I'm sorry, she's there.
On point. I know. Anyways, I'll collect myself. So again, with this, your basic piece of clothing would be a green sweater, green shirt, something like that. The picture on top, they completely went for it and got matching top and bottom. But again, thrift or, you know, buy cheap if you would like, or hopefully, you know, you already had something like that. To attach the needles, we would have pipe cleaners on top there. And then on the bottom, the picture there, they actually use a thicker string. And I'm not sure, you can't really see it in the photo, but the sweater itself is built that it's pretty thin and it has gaps in between the material. So they actually were able to thread through the string there. Whereas on top, you would probably have to attach the pipe cleaners in some way, like stitching it on. I'm pretty sure would be best if you guys think of anything else. I'm trying to think of how to actually hold that pipe cleaner on there in that shape.
With the glue gun and golf
yeah,
too. You can use that.
Yes, I put that in there because I wanted to say that Margaret told me that she's done this before, which is very exciting that you know we were on the same page here, and she used golf tees on it. Not sure if I would recommend for kids, but I think that's a great idea.
The only problem is nobody
the hot glue. Yes. Well, it would be in true COVID fashion, how to keep your distance. And then, you know, strike a pose. You have to look like a cactus. The one on the bottom is a little extra embellished, and they have a small flower, kind of like your cactus flower there, attached to a headband. If you went to the dollar store in the floral section, 100% would be able to find something like that. I also have an aside for this costume. So the one on the picture on the bottom reminded me of a costume that a friend did because she absolutely hates Halloween, but we made her dress up. So what she did was wore a green sweater, almost exactly like this one, and attached Christmas balls, like Christmas tree balls to it. And she was a Christmas tree instead because she didn't want anything to do with Halloween. And then she attached a little bow on top of her head. So I'm assuming here, if you are here for a Halloween DIY costume tutorial, you kind of like Halloween maybe just a little bit. But since Christmas stuff is out here anyways in stores, you know, if you love Christmas that much, celebrate it a little bit early. Why not? So we can move on. Perfect. So this is our next section, and I have a couple of costumes here where you kind of need a couple of extra accessories rather than just your pieces of clothing. So the first one is a Ninja Turtle. I kind of done this one inspired by my husband because he loves the Ninja Turtles. He grew up with them. I'm sure a lot of us did, and I'm sure kids still do. So what you would need mostly for this is probably a green shirt or other clothing. For example, the picture on top, they're using a camo shirt or like a camo coat. So I think that goes well with it too. And then the main focus is kind of an aluminum cooking pan for your shell. And to get it that, you know, green turtle color, there's a couple ways you could do it. You could spray paint it green, like the picture seen on the bottom. So you can tell that that's like really opaque, like it's very uniform in color and consistency where the paint is. You don't see any of like the aluminum showing through. And then the picture on top, what they did was they actually painted it by hand, and they went crazy, put a lot of detail into it, put some brown in it too to kind of look a little bit more marbly like a turtle shell would. So kind of depends on where you want to go. If you have green paint already and just wanted to paint it one color, great. If you wanted to spray paint it, you know, that works as well. So you get some variety on this one depending on what you kind of already have at home. One thing you definitely need is to find some kind of thick colored ribbon or some kind of cloth to cut out the headband, because along with the turtle shell, you need the headband to look like a Ninja Turtle, right? So on the bottom, we have red, orange, blue, and purple maybe. I'm sure these all correspond to different Ninja Turtles. I can probably only name a couple. I don't know about you guys. I'm sure there's someone there that will know many more than I do, or what color corresponds to which turtle. And they also have on the bottom the ribbon or material kind of cut around their knees and their ankles, as well as the headband there, which might be a little bit more of a Ninja Turtle fashion. And if you didn't want to just have a headband, I also, oh, there's a couple there. Raphael, Donatello, Michelangelo. Do we have any more? There's got to be more. There's 5 of them?
No, there's 4.
4? Okay. Thank you. And honestly, when I went to the dollar store, I saw a full-on Ninja Turtle mask, like one that you would put over your head. So if you were to pair something like that with the aluminum DIY shell, I think you'd really have a great costume here. Yep. So So I hope you guys like that one. Good for anyone. And like the picture on the bottom, it works as a costume too, which we'll get to in a couple of minutes. We can switch that. Raining cats and dogs. We'll have a quiz time. We'll have a quiz time soon, I promise. I think they're super fun. I love this costume, and again, a couple of reasons is mostly you're gonna have this stuff at home, right? So with the umbrella, you would need something sturdy enough to kind of hold up the weight of the animals. I think we're just getting a little bit of feedback again. Oh, it might be muted now. But you probably don't want to use a really expensive umbrella or like a golf umbrella or anything like that, which is massive, right? And then you just need your rain outfit, which again can vary in how much you want to put into that. Leonardo blue, there we go. Back to the Ninja Turtles. I'm just looking at the chat there. So if you already had kind of like a rain getup, like a jacket or a coat, or this one's just wearing a poncho, which you can also get at the dollar store if you didn't have a coat, or if it was too, I don't know where it would be too warm on Halloween, but it might be somewhere. Definitely not here. So again, you can kind of get these from different places, and the stuffed animals, again, you can get from the dollar store, or you might have a collection at home. But if you don't want to use the ones from home, or you know, you don't want to get them dirty or anything like that, definitely go to the dollar store. I saw a whole bunch there when I went. I don't just like live at the dollar store. I went there for like recon for this. So when I say I was at the dollar store, it was all at one time. And then all you have to do is adhere your stuffed animals to your umbrella. You can probably just use fishing line, and then that would be clear, and it would kind of look like the idea that they're kind of bouncing off the umbrella to the ground, instead of just like dangling from it. So I picked this photo because, again, this kind of shows like the most simple version of this costume that people would be able to get. But you can dress this costume up a little bit more as well. Just gonna take a sip of water. So with this one I saw, they kind of use like the fake snow, like the cotton material that, or like the material almost inside the stuffed animal, and put it all over the top of the umbrella, kind of as clouds, and it looks absolutely amazing. So you can usually find the bags of that like fake snow, or almost kind of like, you can even use cotton balls too. Another example, use like bigger cotton balls to try to mimic the look of a cloud. Another example, put twinkly lights around the cloud, so it kind of looks like the stars in the cloud. And then another example had raindrops that they cut out of paper and attached it to one piece of fishing line, and attached it so that it also looked like it was kind of just dripping down like the animals are there, and it looked so good. So another way to kind of style this costume, and then you're prepared for any kind of weather that happens on Halloween, right? Like you're not going to have the kids complaining, oh, I'm wet or cold or anything, because like they are built for the weather that night. So again, thought this one was a good one, all from Pinterest.
That's great, Jessica. Just a reminder, if you do unmute yourself, just remember to mute yourself back again. And as we advance to the next slide, I'm just going to unmute some participants here. Is it quiz time, Jessica?
It might be.
Okay, everybody ready? How about everybody unmute yourself. Everybody unmute yourself and chime in, okay?
Quiz time!
Oh.
Taco Bell? Princess.
Yes!
Taco Bell. Good one.
I mean, this is a very intricate costume, so I'm not quite sure I can give you a DIY for this, to be completely honest. But, I mean, we're talking about tacos, so had to do it. So there is our idea for Taco Bell.
Fine.
I like the Taco Queen, too, yeah. All right, and now we're going to move into our next category, and I have a couple ideas for group costumes. So we already saw our Ninja Turtle, which could be made into a group costume because, again, they're a group of turtles. And now we have this one. So these are contestants from The Price is Right. I think everyone has watched The Price is Right at some point, like grew up on it, right? So with this one, again, so easy. You would definitely need a large piece of black Bristol board, and then another size piece of like a colored Bristol board, for example. And if you cut the colored one, we have blue, red, green, and yellow here, just a little bit smaller than the black, and then pasted them on top of each other, then you would have that black kind of looking like the border. And that's where, you know, the contestants guess how much something was worth. And we have the one always doing the strategy of you doing the $1, right? So you don't go over. And for the numbers, you would just have to use masking tape. I mean, if you really wanted to cut it out to make it a little bit more opaque rather than like a translucent, which I think the masking tape might go on like, you'd be able to do that. And then all you have to do is attach it around your neck somehow. They just use ribbon, for example. And then you have to make your name tag too, because they all wear name tags when you come on down to spin the wheel. And for this, you could just use your yellow color, which was in the what you need category. Or if you were wearing yellow as your color for guessing your number, then kind of like the board at the bottom, you can just use that as well. And then you just have to write your name in caps, and you have a costume. So there you are, contenders of The Price is Right.
Come on down.
Come on down. I thought we were going to have a quiz, and I was going to go right into it, but we don't. We have dominoes instead. So I picked this one because my neighbors play dominoes constantly. I have no idea how you actually play this game. I thought you just line them up and knock them down, to be completely honest. But maybe some other people actually know how to play. But this is a great group costume because you can mimic the tiles with a lot of the different numbers on there. So you would need black clothing, but you don't just need black. You can see that the person on the far left in the picture is wearing blue jeans. I don't think that's an issue at all. Again, you kind of get the gist. You would need white paper, or again, I'm going to say white felt so that it attaches easier, and it kind of looks like it is a little bit more flush to the surface of the material too. I think paper would just crinkle too much. You have to cut out your dots for the dominoes, and then your bar as well, the long rectangle there, and then attach them, and there you go. You have a group costume. I don't know if maybe if you had enough people, you could like play dominoes with everyone. I'm not really sure how it works. Maybe someone can enlighten me. And if you wanted to keep the clothing, you could also stitch again instead of gluing, depending on what you want to use the clothing for after. So there you go. There's our first group costume. Now we have quiz time.
I'll ask everybody to unmute your microphones and chime in.
The spice rack.
Almost, but not quite.
We have a lot of Buddhas here. Everybody's umming.
Yes.
Probably sounds like me.
Spice drawer.
A garden of spice of something.
Ah.
There's a hint down there. Somebody's put a hint down there for you.
Where?
In the chat.
Yeah.
Where?
Think music.
Spice
Girls.
Spice Girls! I think we had a couple people say that one.
We did.
Who said that one?
Margaret H.
Margaret H. Congratulations. My gosh, that's 4 for you.
Someone else said it almost the same. We said it at the same time.
I think so too. Okay,
I
fair
think
enough.
it might have been Sheila, but I'm not positive.
Like, I know the Spice
Mom is probably giggling because I was born in the 90s and I grew up on Spice Girls. Spice Girls was actually my first concert, and I think it was for Girl Guides. We actually dressed up as the Spice Girls, and my mom made me an absolute kick-ass costume for being Jerry Spice, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. She made it out of material a Union Jack, and so I had this cute little number on. So, you know, we can, again, use that nostalgia, and we have our Spice Girls costume here. I have absolutely no idea how they made these costumes because they look pretty professional. But I did see other people who did kind of a not so professional job, and they actually put the spices on themselves. So like if you had rosemary or something like that, or like basil leaves, something a little bit more visible that you would be able to point out, you could put that on a necklace or like on a piece of paper and then attach it to your neck or something like that. So, you know, different ways that you can do this. I do really want to point out the little hats that they have as like the top of the spice bottle that you would like twist off. So they were going for brownie points on this one. There's a lot of detail here.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So there we go. There's our Spice Girls.
Great, Jessica. We'll move to the next slide. I'll just ask everybody to mute yourselves unless you have a question, and then you can unmute yourself. Thank you.
Okay. So this one's Miss Universe. And this is obviously only a single costume, but I'll show you how you can make it into a group costume in almost kind of like a little bit of a punny way. So you need a sash. If you go to Michael's, they actually have a really great wide ribbon, and they actually recommended it for me. I had to go in and make a sash actually for a bachelorette, and they called it sash ribbon, so that's what I went for. And Michael's is just perfect because you get coupons there. So I was in there again the other day, 30% off, and got to use my CF1 card. So if you are a military family and you have a CF1 appreciation card, you can use it at Michael's. I think it's 10 or 15% off. So that is a great idea for many DIY costumes. For the Miss Universe in particular, you have to have your planets, of course. So for this one, they actually made them out of paper and attach them to the dress. You don't have to wear a dress. You can just wear your winning outfit, whatever that is, because, you know, you've already won. You have the sash. You can wear what you want. And we also need the tiara. If you go to the dollar store, you can get one. And the flowers, you probably don't need that for this costume, but if you want the whole idea there, that's how you would complete it. You need to attach the planets in some way. Again, use your glue. A spray adhesive would be really good for this one because to like get the full shape and to make it flush to the garment there. And if we go to the next slide, this is how we can make it into a group costume. So I'm already laughing. But this is our Miss Universe Continued. So you don't just have to do Miss Universe where the universe is kind of, you know, sitting on you, but you can have other ones that may start with Miss, but aren't actually Miss as in a female. But Miss Fire, for example, I actually did this costume in my first year of university, and I thought it was a great group costume because there are so many words that start with the word Miss, and as long as you can kind of symbolize it in some way, exactly, what other Miss can we think of? There's just a couple of here. Symbolize it some way on a costume, you can use it. So Misfire, one of my girlfriends wore a red top, black bottoms. She actually singed her clothing a little bit so it looked like it was on fire. And then she used black material on her face, kind of looking like soot. Then we have Misdemeanor. Of course, you need your sash that says these things as well. You can write it in some nice cursive writing or whatever you want. And Misdemeanor, you could dress up as a cop and then have your sash on. And if you go to, again, the dollar store, what a surprise, I'm saying that, they have a little kit that has like fake plastic handcuffs, a little badge. It's kind of like for a costume or like a, you know, to play cop kind of deal. And had a little hat with it as well and a baton. So that was just at the dollar store to kind of make that costume. Then we have Misdirection, which is one of my favorites. You can just put arrows all over you in any direction, and there's your misdirection. And then we have Miscalculated, Misnumbered, and Mistaken, or sorry, Miscount. And any of these, you could just put numbers on you, or even mathematical equations for the miscalculated if you wanted to do like the addition sign, subtraction, maybe a square root if you want to get really fancy, something like that. And then I also said Mistaken, and I'm not sure how you would do this one other than putting a Liam Neeson reference on there. I don't know if you have like a Liam Neeson shirt or something like that, or if you just want to wear his face, but I was thinking that would be a good Mistaken for, you know, the taken part. And yeah, so those are the myth ones that I came up with really quickly. Can you guys think of any more that you'd be able to symbolize in some way on your costume? I think I had another friend who did this. Sorry?
Oh, I was just going to say, feel free to unmute yourselves or type in the chat.
I think I had a friend who did Miss Married as well, and she dressed up as a bride. I think Miss can kind of be added to most words. Again, it's just like if you can depict it in some way, right?
You could do mistake and put a picture of a steak on the front of the dress.
That's a good one. Well played. Well played. I like the steak. Yeah.
In the chat.
And the steak, honestly, I saw a dog toy at the dollar store that was a picture of a steak. So you could just glue that onto your front, or even put some kind of ribbon or string over and kind of wear it as well, because I really don't think you want to be wearing a steak all night. Or even like the picture of a steak would be great, and I like that one, Miss Steak. That's well done. Mishap? How would you do the hap?
I don't know, mistakes or something like that, like X's through things, perhaps? I don't know.
Ooh, that's a good one. Like a canceled out almost.
That's right, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is it quiz time, Jessica?
It's quiz time! Come on down!
Everybody unmute yourselves. Are you ready?
I don't know if I'm unmuted. Can you hear me? It's Margaret H.
We can hear you.
Okay, because it has a line through my microphone, so I never know if I'm talking or not.
Quiz time!
Okay, serial killer.
Yeah.
I have to think it and just said it.
Good job, Margaret. We're going to have to mute your microphone on purpose next time.
It just shows you what kind of useless. I'm really good for trivia. I will not say another word.
I just saw that someone also said mismatch on the other one. Oh, that's a good one. Mismatch, and you could wear like 2 different shoes or something. Sorry, I went back through the comments and just saw it. Mismatch with 2 different shoes. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, so here is our serial killer, a little bit more advanced than some of our other ones, a little bit more along the lines of, you know, scary Halloween. But if you have your little cereal boxes, which I'm pretty sure they still sell these,
Yeah.
and then they put plastic knives through them and then just kind of spray painted it with, or kind of almost drizzled with your like blood splatter. And again, probably could use a spray adhesive. I don't think you're getting the shirt back for anything else. Like, I don't think you're going to be reusing this one. So I think that you can demo it a little bit more than others. There's already paint everywhere as blood. So I don't think you're just going to be wearing this one out in public. Okay, and now getting to our last category. So I actually I'm not going overtime, but I thought that this was going to go, I thought I was going to be done a little bit quicker. So on to our fur babies. TY, again, our beanie babies. I mean, they were absolutely made for this, right? They don't need a costume, they're just adorable. So you would just need, again, your TY. This one's a little bit more handmade, definitely, you can tell. And once you get that together, I would suggest putting it around their collar compared to tying it around their neck. And you do have to watch out for if Fido or, I don't think cats eat paper as much, but you can correct me if I'm wrong, want to shred the paper or eat the paper, because we definitely want to watch out for that kind of, again, choking hazard or anything like that. My dog could shred paper with enthusiasm all night. So it's her favorite thing. Receipts, anything like that, paper towel, doesn't matter. She'll just shred it to pieces. So yes, watching out for your choking hazards for Fido there. Good time.
Unmute your microphones. Everyone is thinking.
So this one you have to look kind of top to bottom on her to be able to get it.
Copycat?
Copycat.
I typed it. I typed it and I didn't say anything, but no one was saying anything and I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry.
I was hoping that if I put this one in the fur baby section, it would come out. The ears were very hard to see. I apologize, but yes, this one is a copycat. So easy to make. You saw me at the beginning with my little ears on. I got them from the dollar store. And then they just printed out Control-C, and there you go. There's your copycat. All right, if we move to the next one, hot dog. So this was the one that I had made for you. That was in the first one. And you can see this one was totally made out of felt. So I just cut the different shapes, put on the ribbon, and I just kind of like poked a hole through the felt, attached it to her ribs, and then came up around her neck. I knew that she wasn't going to fuss that much, like it wasn't going to choke her or anything like that. Again, you need to be wary of what your dog finds comfortable, and by no means is she going to wear this all day long. You know, it was just kind of for a picture and to match. And then there was another one on her backside as well. So she is a basset hound, so she is longer than she is wider. She's very long, so the hot dog did well for her, just like a wiener dog, right?
That's cute.
Again, watch out if they're going to eat this or anything like that. And I mean, this goes with any costume too, if you're going to give them to kids or babies or anything. I did my disclosure. And these are DIY costumes, but they were super cheap. You can get dog or cat costumes at Michael's, Amazon. So Ace is on the right side here. She's wearing a Wonder Woman costume. And it was $20 off of Amazon, and it actually held up pretty well. She'll probably be the same thing this year. And then your local pet store. So I don't think anyone is in Halifax, but we have Jolly Tales, which I highly recommend. We have Ren's Pets, we have PetSmart, we have Pet Value, whole bunch of places, and also the dollar store. Again, when I was there, they had a couple of different costume options, more for smaller pets, but you know, they had tutus and all that stuff, and you'd be able to kind of work something up if you wanted to go very, very cheap on that. All right, I think we're nearing the end. Quick time! This one's hard. I think this one was hard, so hopefully we stump you.
Cotton candy? I don't know.
Yes!
Natalie,
Again.
Excellent! Yes, that's it. Cotton candy. You got it.
I guess you were smarter than you think. Good job, Natalie.
You said it in such a guessing way. You nailed it. You absolutely got that one so quick. So this one is off of a TikTok theme. I don't know if anyone else is addicted to TikTok like I am, but this is the Ghost Doggo, and it was just a pillowcase cut, and you know, just it's not like happy at all. I was actually holding a treat, but she couldn't see the treat. She could smell the treat though. No, does not look happy. This wasn't on very long. It was just for the photo. Looks super cute. There you go. I think next time I would also set little pieces for the ears. She has very long ears, so I think that those have to be showcased as well. But this is your traditional ghost, where you would have kind of just like the eyes cut out there and maybe a nose hole so you can breathe. So we're good with that one. And there we go. So I guess that was like almost a perfect hour. That's great. So coming off of these ideas or any others, what are some ideas that you guys have? Or maybe you've already made a DIY costume for Halloween coming up.
I mean, no. We're probably going geocaching, so we won't be around for Halloween. But
okay, that's good to know.
I'm looking for ideas for next year.
There you go, great. Well, I mean, again, I know, surprise, I'm going to talk about the dollar store. They still had rows and rows of Halloween stuff, and you could make full-on costumes there for only a couple of dollars. They had, you have your vampire teeth and your blood, and kind of like your more traditional costumes, and capes and stuff like that. So, again, you can do that stuff so, in such a cheap manner, really, and have fun with it, right? Yes, there we go, highlighting the dollar store. I'm in no way sponsored by the dollar store.
One year I did what was that, Margaret?
She needs to buy some shares in the dollar store.
Definitely does. One year I took a giant piece of cardboard and I printed a Facebook page, and where your profile picture is, I cut that out and I stuck my head in it.
Oh, that's perfect. I like that one.
And the people that were at the party, I put them in the comments section, so it would say like, Jessica Nixon commented on Jill's Halloween costume. That was a great idea, Jill. You must have attended my DIY workshop. And yeah, so I had all kinds of the people that were at the party making comments.
I love it.
Natalie, what are you doing for your family for Halloween this year?
Actually, I don't know. I don't have the best of luck with Halloween. Since we've been here this is going to be our third Halloween since we were shipped back to Quebec. And the first Charlie was sick to her stomach. The second she went outside, so we went back in. So I ruined a few costumes for her walking outside, puking on it, and going back in.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Oh, no.
So basically, I don't know. She's probably going to be a ghost because it's easy to make, and I don't want to worry too much. I have a sheet. I'll put some holes in it, and voila. Thank you. I'm done.
Perfect. It works for dogs and people. It's great.
Well, I think I'm just going to give her some crayons or marker that she can draw on clothes, and just have like her draw her own design on the ghost, and then she can use it or wear it after for costumes and stuff. She loves to draw.
I love that idea.
So creative. I like it.
Honestly, for myself, I have no idea what I'm going to wear. I need to put a costume on Friday for school, and I have no idea at all.
My daughter went as an artist, and she had a little Parisian hat, and then she had a and not an easel, but the palette. And that was
that's a great one.
A good idea.
It is, yeah.
That's great.
If you're creative and have that kind of stuff at home.
Please.
Well, that's it, right? If you already had that like smaller easel, or like you said, like a palette, it would go great with a costume.
Absolutely.
You could even wear clothing that already has paint on it. Like the clothing that you put on when you go and paint. If it already has paint on it, it'll just look like a painter, like a true artist.
That's a great idea. How about I give you, Natalie, how about I give you Jessica's phone number? No, I'm just kidding.
Hopefully we inspired you tonight. Maybe you'll go to the local store, whatever you go to get your Halloween costume, and you'll see something there that we went over tonight with.
Oh, absolutely. You gave some great ideas. Thank you very much.
That's wonderful, Jessica. Thank you so very much. And thank you, everyone, for attending tonight. Jessica, you did a bang-up job. This was fantastic.
Oh, thank you. I know that I said so much, but I didn't go over this a lot, so I apologize.
This was great.
Great. I had a blast.
Workshop that we did?
Say again, Margaret.
Sorry,
we didn't hear.
When you're speaking of the we did a Toastmaster workshop that was really interesting as well.
Yes,
oh,
we did.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And our next workshop that we have coming up is on the 8th of November. We have one of our volunteers from the MFRC, no relation, her name is Eleanor Clark, and her sister are going to be doing a 1 hour, 1.5 hour workshop on remembrance. And Margaret and I have already gone through the presentation with both of the facilitators, and it's an amazing workshop. So we encourage you, we know that the Legions this year are not going to be running in-person service. Although this isn't on the 11th of November, it's happening on a Sunday afternoon, so hopefully you might be inspired to join in with us. We do have a draw today, which is really exciting. So for both of our workshop participants, so that's Natalie and Margaret, you both are winners of $25 gift certificates.
Wow!
Isn't that exciting?
That's very exciting.
Am I even able to win that since I'm not even in the province?
You both are.
I'm not even in the country.
Oh, that's fair.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask both of you, if you would be kind enough, Margaret and Natalie, if you can reach out back to me, and what we'll do is an Amazon gift card, because that will be the easiest thing to transfer to both of you in Canadian funds.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
And I'm going to type my
it's so easy to spend $25 on Amazon. It's so easy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Jill. That's awesome.
You're welcome. And there is my email address that I can access off-site right now. So if you'd like to just send me your contact information, I'll reach out to both of you. Sheila, thank you for supporting your daughter and attending this evening. It was so nice to hear your voice. And thank you for your donation of Halloween supplies that were handed out during the Community Fall Fair and also to the daycare children in Halifax.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
Jessica, outstanding presentation. Thank you so very much for all the hard work you put into this. And if you all have great Halloween costumes, send them to me. I'll send them to Jessica Nixon so you can see what you came up with.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'd love to see them.
We'll try.
Great. Natalie, we can also connect offline on email, and yes, I'd be happy to do something for you for resume.
No worries.
That's perfect. Thank you all so very much for joining this evening. Jessica, if you want to stay on the line, and everyone else, you can exit the system by clicking in the top left, the red X button to exit. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Guys, have a great night. Thank you for coming.
Good job, Jeff.
Welcome, bye.
Bye, everyone.
If you just text Jill so I can click your email before I go, because if I don't do it before I go, I'll lose it. Hold on a second. Where did you put your email at?
Just in the comment section.
Yeah, I can't see it.
I'll type it in the.
Is it the same one as last time?
Just one second. So it's Jill.Clark at H&R MFRC on Microsoft.
Microsoft?
There we go. And I've just typed it on the screen, so you should be able to see it now.
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't know why. Are you chatting with everyone else or just with certain people?
No, we're all still here. So do you see on the screen under the clip art image, the boo?
Well, I don't see it, but I do have your email you sent me for this class, so I'll just, okay, now it appeared.
Good, okay.
Put it in the chat.
Well, thank you, my dear, and I shall contact you soon.
We'll be looking forward to chatting with you, Natalie. We miss you.
I'll send you a picture of Charlie and I, and you'll flip on how much we changed.
I'd love to see that. Okay, Natalie, be well. Say hi to Joel for me, too.
I will. Thanks, Jessica.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for attending. Take care.
Jessica, you did it.
Wonderful job. So engaging.
It was a lot of fun. At first, I was thinking, how am I going to talk for a full hour? But honestly, I think that I probably could have gone a little faster. Not that I would have wanted to, but it's I think